Welcome to Bespoke Diaries. Today's article is on World's First Blade Cricketer by Suvro Joarder, Divyang Cricketer, India. As an alumnus of Jagat Bantu Institution, Suvro enjoyed a massive reputation as a proficient medium-pace all-rounder among his schoolmates. It was not until he got picked for his school team that he had any formal training in cricket. He remembers one day when he was in the 8th standard, Dr. Atreya Mukherjee, former Bengal pacer, had come to our school to handpick a few candidates for the school team. Unfazed by the buzz surrounding the trials for the school team, he was busy playing tennis ball cricket with some of his friends in close vicinity of the nets where the trials were being conducted. As Suvro was rolling his arm over, he somehow caught the attention of Mr. Mukherjee and he came over to him and asked him if he had ever bowled with a leather ball before. He said no and soon found himself in the nets with a hard leather ball in his hand, puffed up and raring to play with the new toy he had been given. Impressed with his bowling skills, Mr. Mukherjee drafted him into the school side then and there and told him to turn up for the practice matches from the next day onward. Riding on the back of a satisfactory first season for the school side, he was made the school captain, and a consistent show at the school level for the next few seasons brought several accolades. He was declared the best sportsman of his school for 4 years in succession. His rise through the junior ranks was steady but confidence-inspiring. Having passed out from high school in 2004, he established himself as a pillar of his college, Haramba Chandra College, team in a very short space of time. Around the time, 2003-04, Mahindra & Mahindra's Scorpio brand had launched a 10-city talent hunt called the Scorpio Speedster, which aimed at spotting the fastest bowler in India among a host of young cricket aspirants. For the winner, there was a cash prize of ₹75,000 and a chance to attend the Australian Institute of Sport Cricket Academy, Adelaide, on offer in the inaugural edition. Like many other contestants of his age looking to showcase their skills on such a big platform, he participated in the first 2 editions of the contest and ended up as one of the top 10 contestants on both occasions. Suvro's cricketing graft, which had been showing gradual progress all along, zoomed all of a sudden. The next 3 years turned out to be very fruitful. Successful stints at a number of CAB division clubs, dominance across run charts on the club circuit, a contract with Excelsiors in 2007, followed by a prolific season with them, helped him establish credentials as a young player and took him one step closer to playing first-class cricket for Bengal. The post-accident phase was agonizing and difficult to endure for him and his family. A couple of days after the accident, it dawned upon him that his right leg had to be amputated. The accident plunged him into a state of severe depression, and once he realized the fact that his chances of returning to mainstream cricket were wrecked forever, his depression compounded. Maybe if he had not been a sportsman, the impact of the loss wouldn't have hit him as hard as it did. For the next 6 months, he underwent a spate of surgeries, and after the amputation was successfully performed at the Omri, Dakuria, the doctors told him that he would have to go on crutches all the rest of his life. This came as a big blow to him as a 21-year-old who had fallen headlong from a position of peak performance in less than half a year's time. The world around him started to collapse. He had just completed his graduation and was all set to play for Jadavpur University in the impending season. An under-22 call-up into the stateside also seemed like a real possibility, courtesy of a robust season with Excelsiors which saw him hit over 60 to 76s for them in just 9 matches. As soon as he got back home after discharge from the hospital, he carried out an extensive search on the internet to check if there was any remedy available online that could help him revive his career as an athlete. After shuffling through various options online, he finally came across a UK-based company called Endolight, which specializes in manufacturing artificial limbs. The concept of artificial limbs was still fairly new in India at the time, and so there was limited knowledge about the same among the public here in Kolkata. Suvro wasted no time in contacting them through a video conversation, and they inquired him about his lifestyle so that they could recommend a prosthetic limb to fit his requirements. By 2010, his cricketing engagements had multiplied several-fold as he made his presence felt in various local and corporate tournaments. However, he had no inkling hitherto that physically challenged cricket is recognised as a competitive sport in India. Later that same year, he came to know about the existence of the All India Cricket Association of the Physically Challenged, founded by former Indian captain Ajit Wadekar in 1988, and when he appeared for its trials, he met with howls of wry laughter. People looked at him cynically when he first went there. Maybe they thought to themselves, how can a fellow without a limb even imagine playing cricket? He decided not to pay any heed to any of their mocking insinuations and instead requested the administrators to give him a chance to prove his abilities in the trials. The trial went off well for him and he got selected immediately. After playing with them for close to 2 years, one of the things that held him back from prolonging his stint with them was that they were playing with soft ball. All this while, even after his accident, he hadn't shied away from playing with a hard leather ball, and hence the idea of playing with a soft ball failed to capture his imagination. Suvro's pursuit of playing against able-bodied athletes on a more regular basis led him to form a corporate team, Joarder Enterprise, in 2013 along with a few friends, each of whom has played first division club cricket at some stage in their careers. Then in 2014, he made his second foray into physically challenged cricket, this time with the other association named Disabled Sporting Society, now Divyang Cricket Control Board of India, complying with proper ICC rules and regulations. Winning his first international cap was a dream come true. He made an immediate impact on the international scene with 2 half-centuries that saw visitors India whitewash hosts Bangladesh in his maiden series for India. Keeping his fervent passion for cricket intact, he ventured into running in 2015. His strong performances across a series of top-flight marathons in the country earned him an opportunity to be a part of a training camp organized by German prosthesis supplier Otterbach and 2012 Paralympic gold medalist Heinrich Popov in Mumbai. After the conclusion of a 3-day training session with Popov, 11 athletes chosen by Otterbach, based on their performances in marathons across the country, were asked to compete in a 50 meters sprint. To the astonishment of Popov and the others witnessing the proceedings, he completed the challenge in a little over 6.50 seconds, almost 7 seconds adrift of the Paralympic qualification time. Heinrich seemed very impressed with his display and wanted to know whether he would be keen on doing a 3-month training program with him in a bid to compete in the 2016 Rio Paralympics. He even offered to give him a prosthetic blade designed especially for Paralympians, which he was going to use for himself in Rio, at a discounted price, but still, the cost of that limb was beyond his financial means. In order to spread awareness about the prevailing predicament of para-athletes in India, he became a regular feature at Kolkata's top marathon meets like the IDB Federal Life Insurance's Kolkata Marathon and the Tata Steel Kolkata 25K. Over the last few years, it becomes imperative here to mention the success of the Maitri Cup, which raked in media attention like no other event for physically challenged cricketers of the past. During the course of the Maitri Cup, he was often confronted with a common question as to why don't physically challenged cricketers get the same recognition as their able-bodied peers, either from their apex body or the media in general. He thinks the kind of competition that was put up for a show at the tournament really prompted the media to give due coverage to physically challenged cricket. For this, he is greatly indebted to the media fraternity of Bengal in particular, and also to those media representatives who had come to cover the tournament from outside. The government of West Bengal too showed support to the team through Minister of State for Sports and Youth Development and former Bengal captain Laxmi Ratan Shukla, who was the chief guest at the Maitri Cup. In April 2017, the Indian team led by Ravinder Kamboj ended up sharing the trophy with Bangladesh in a tri-series involving the Bangladeshi, Indian and Sri Lankan physically challenged teams on Bangladeshi soil. Suvro averaged 86 with the bat in that series. His decent captaincy record for the Bengal physically challenged cricket team and loads of runs across all tournaments over the last couple of seasons contributed to his elevation to national captaincy at the start of the Maitri Cup. As a leader, my primary aim was to inculcate a team culture that would focus on playing firebrand cricket. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Do leave your thoughts in the comments section below. For similar type of article, please reach us at contact@thebespokediaries.com, or you can visit our website www.thebespokediaries.com.